Alright, I'm tired of this fat fuck. I'm tired of his shit. I'm tired of his shenanigans, alright? Getting fucking pissed off with this fat fucking wife beating, fucking drunk driving, pregnant hitting woman, fucking coward ass, alright? I'm tired of him. Now, if you don't know who I'm talking to, obviously I'm referring to Jon Jones, the fat fuck. Now why am I pissed off with Jon Jones? Well, there's a few things, you know. He did beat his wife, to be fair. You know, he has hit a pregnant woman and drove off, you know. He has been seen doing the booger sugar and, you know, harassing men at bars. Okay. Little suspect if you ask me, but hey, you know, everyone gets into their own shenanigans. He also has a robbery win over Dominic Reyes that no one likes to acknowledge anymore because he clearly lost the fight even though the judges gave it to him. You know, just normal stuff like that, where it's just like, yeah, this fighter is one of the... He's not the most overrated, because I did a video on who that is, but he's definitely fucking overrated, alright? Only fought older men, so he hasn't fought a young blood in the past 20 years. Just normal things you can hate a fighter for. But the real reason why he's got me fucking pissed off right now is because of this interview. Now, if you don't know, there's a very, I don't know how you say it, I guess, well-versed Kevin Iole, you know? He does interviews, he's the one who kind of triggered Dana White into his fucking breakdown on Pound for Pound, stuff like that. Kevin Iole, even though he's a little older and we might disagree, hey, he's still a G, you know? And I respect the grind, brother, you know? Yeah, Kevin Iole, complete G, had an interview with Jon Jones, and Jon Jones decided to say, let me just get my headphones on just to make sure. Jon Jones decided to say this. This is about Tom Aspinall. What are we doing? What are we doing? What the fuck are we doing? Alright? Now in this whole interview, he just went yap, 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 yap. A lot of, like, bullshit, right? I genuinely think he's, like... I think he's high out of his fucking mind right now. Or drunk out of his mind. He's got a little bit of a slurred speech. To be fair, he always does. Maybe he's always on the booger sugar, if you will. But the main thing here... right? And we'll get into this video here. But the main thing here, Tom Aspinall hasn't deserved it. Okay, buddy. Okay. So let's take a look at heavyweight, okay? So Tom Aspinall is holding an interim belt. Now, if you don't know what an interim belt is and you're new around here, an interim belt is when your champion can't fight the #1 contender. So, the champion is on injury or whatever, like a Yuri Prochazka, like a Jon Jones when he vacated the belt. Stuff like this, you know? We're talking like when Daniel Cormier had it. The thing is, in heavyweight, Tom Aspinall fought another #1 contender in Curtis Blades. Or no, not in Curtis Blades. Who was it? Sergey Pavlovich, who was the backup for Jon Jones versus Stipe. And he beats Sergey Pavlovich on short notice. Now, after that, Tom Aspinall has defended his interim belt against Curtis Blades, arguably the two best heavyweights in the world, excluding Tom Aspinall right now. So, Jon Jones has been on leave, and he decides to come back. He's finally coming back after his pectoral injury from PED use, but no one wants to admit that. But he's coming back to fight Stipe Miocic. Now, if you don't know, Stipe is currently ranked #8, and he hasn't fought in 3 fucking years. And his last fight, he got knocked out in one of the worst knockouts you'll ever see a human being get. So what does that mean for Jon Jones? Well, he's obviously wanting to fight a 60-year-old man for a free win. So Jon Jones wants to fight Stipe because he's the greatest heavyweight of all time. I don't even agree with that statement, but okay, fair enough. I'll let him have that. Fair enough. You want to go out as beating one of the greatest heavyweights of all time. Now, here's the problem, right? You can just say you're going to fight the greatest heavyweight of all time and retire. All right? You're still a pussy for doing it, just saying. But you can do it, and you can ride on your horse merry way. After the wife beating allegations, and after, well, not allegations, the proof is in the pudding, as some people say. But, yeah, you can beat your wife, basically, and you can hit that pregnant woman while on coke, and then you can ride into the sunset after beating the heavyweight GOAT, pretty much. We're just gonna let it slide, guys. But there is, like, Tom Aspinall in the division, the guy who's finished everyone in the division under 3 minutes each in round 1. Never done before in heavyweight as a interim belt holder and as a #1 contender, Jon Jones decided to compare fucking Tom Aspinall here. Yeah, Jon Jones decided to compare Tom Aspinall to Johnny fucking Walker, which Johnny Walker has never had a #1 contender's belt. If you want to count the Ankalaev fight, you kind of can, but Ankalaev didn't get #1 contender after beating Johnny Walker, so I wouldn't really consider that a #1 contender bout because Ankalaev had to fight Rakic. Also, Johnny Walker didn't all have round 1 finishes. He also has been finished. And yes, Tom Aspinall has a 1 on his loss record. But you know who else has a 1 on their loss record that's kind of like unjustified as a 1? Oh, what's that? Jon Jones does for an illegal 12-6 elbow? Oh my god. That's crazy. Tom Aspinall didn't do an illegal move and get DQ'd. He had his fucking knee blow out, and it is what it is. It's an injury. In most situations like that, we just go to a no contest and move on. Didn't happen that way. And guess what happened? Even though he lost on paper to a Curtis Blades, he got the rematch eventually, and he whooped his fucking ass. I'm tired of this shit, alright? I'm tired of this shit. So, if Tom Aspinall hasn't deserved it, let's just picture dream world here. What earns you a title shot in heavyweight? Because, let's just take a look at bantamweight, the prestigious division of bantamweight. Umar Nurmagomedov fought 1 ranked contender, and now he's fighting for the belt. 1 ranked contender. He has 1 ranked win on his resume, and he's fighting for the belt. Against a guy who's been in the division a very long time. Okay. Now let's take a look at heavyweight. So, how many ranked contenders has Tom Aspinall beat? Well, he's beaten Volkov, who just slaughtered Sergey Pavlovich in fucking Jon Jones' eyes. Then he beats Sergey Pavlovich, who did just get slaughtered. Then he beats Curtis Blades. Then he beats Jailton Almeida. Or no, he hasn't fought Jailton Almeida. It is what it is. Pretty sure he's beaten Sergey Spivak. He's beaten Marcin Tybura. Then he beats... Was it Tai Tuivasa? I can't remember. But regardless, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ranked wins. Umar had 1, and he's getting the title shot. Tom Aspinall has the interim fucking belt, and has beaten 5 ranked opponents, maybe 6 in heavyweight. I can't remember all of them. But regardless, what else is there for him to do? Ciryl Gane? If you don't know, Ciryl Gane had an interview earlier this year and said he won't fight Tom Aspinall because he thinks he's the #1 fucking contender. So, if Ciryl Gane won't fight Tom Aspinall, and Jon Jones won't fight Tom Aspinall because he hasn't earned it, who the fuck does Tom Aspinall fight to earn a title shot? Curtis Blades again? Sergey Pavlovich again? Alexander Volkov again? And that's just top 5. Does the great Mick Parkin have to fight Tom Aspinall? Does the great Shamil Gaziev count as a title shot win in Jon Jones' eyes? Who the fuck does Tom have to beat? Like, this doesn't make any sense. And he's the interim belt holder. Your job as champion is to then fight the interim belt holder. Just say you're gonna retire like a pussy. It is what it is. You know? And in regards to the pound for pound list, guys, let's just take a look at what Dana White says about pound for pound. Now, this is a little older, mind you, right? But we gotta keep in mind, Conor was in his prime during this time. Oh, what was that? Oh, so if you're the pound for pound GOAT, the pound for pound king of the world, you should fight everyone. Or anyone. Anytime, anywhere, eh? Interesting. Very interesting. Considering Jon Jones is ducking Tom Aspinall. Doesn't want to fight anybody, anywhere, anytime. Even though he's the interim belt holder. Okay there, lil bro. Right? Pulling out of fights against Chael Sonnen. Listen, guys. I don't know. Jon Jones doesn't scream pound for pound for me. It's a good thing he's not number 1. Just saying. Number 3. Deserves to be arguably, he deserves to be number 4. I think Ilya's done more. Just saying. Especially in recent years. Because Jon Jones has 1 win in 4 years. Okay. So, you know, just keeping that in mind. But yeah, I'm tired of this fat fuck. I'm tired of people defending Jon Jones for absolutely zero reason. The guy has to fight the interim belt holder. I'm tired of his shenanigans. This fat fuck needs to go on a diet. And needs to stop harassing men at gay bars. Just saying. But yeah, tired of his shit. Just want to make this video of how tired of his shit I am. And how bullshit this is. I know everyone's kind of hopping on the bandwagon. But I think the whole community should. Because this is kind of just unacceptable. Like, what the fuck are we doing? The interim belt holder hasn't deserved a title shot. The guy who's cleared the top 5 ranking division and the only guy who won't fight him is the guy who literally says he won't fight Tom Aspinall. There's no way for Tom Aspinall to earn a title shot any more than he has. What does he got to do? Go to 205, slaughter Pereira, and then come back up to heavyweight? Like, what sort of delusional world are we living in here? You know? I understand if you think Tom Aspinall, his record doesn't compare to someone like Jon Jones. I'd argue it does, but you can say it doesn't compare, right? You'd be wrong, but I would understand your viewpoint here. However, that, like, okay, he can't get a better record unless he fights the champion. Who's the champion in the division? Soon to be Stipe Miocic. No, it is Jon Jones, right? So, what the fuck are we doing, Jon Jones, you lazy fuck? Get out there, start fighting your contenders, or just say, yeah, I'm just gonna retire after being Stipe, you know? I know Dana White likes to yap about Jon Jones being pound for pound number 1, and the way these guys fight. You know, Jon Jones, he will fight Tom Aspinall. Just the way he is, man. I'm telling you. Yeah, that's not happening. Jon Jones, I think, number 1 is being a little smart by saying he won't fight, because what will probably end up happening is that he'll negotiate for a higher contract, and UFC won't give it. I think Jon Jones might be able to negotiate a $20 million fight out of Tom Aspinall. I think that's realistic for Jon Jones. Because here's what I think happens. Stipe gets knocked out, and then Tom Aspinall is like, he's the next big thing. And then when Tom Aspinall is the next big thing, I think it's just going to be Jon Jones negotiating for more money and doesn't get it because the UFC can't afford it. Nobody gives a fuck about Jon Jones anymore. But yeah, even if we look at the rankings, right, and I know some people don't believe rankings matter, which they kind of don't, but Jon Jones fighting Stipe, that's the champion versus number 8. And he's saying Tom Aspinall, rank 1 interim belt, doesn't deserve it. Make that make sense, please. I implore you. You know, Stipe has 3 title defenses as a heavyweight champion. He's lost to Daniel Cormier and Francis Ngannou. Francis Ngannou doesn't exist in the UFC anymore, nor ever will. And DC is kind of just John Jones sloppy seconds, regardless if he cheated in those fights, popping for PEDs. So, with all that being said, I want to thank you for watching, making it to the end of this video, and as always, I hope you have a good day.